Fluffy's Norwegian escape. Stavanger Chronicles. Chapter 1. A New World Awaits. After surviving the rust bucket cargo ship Tordenskjold's legacy, we finally set paw on Norwegian soil. Stavanger greeted us with cool, crisp air that felt like it had been filtered through glaciers. The breeze carried the scent of the sea, salty, sharp, and annoyingly pleasant. Emma stretched like she'd been freed from a medieval dungeon. "Isn't this amazing, Fluffy?" I sniffed the air thoughtfully. Clean, fresh, suspiciously nice. It doesn't reek. What's the catch? Stavanger sparkled under a clear sky, its colourful wooden houses lining cobbled streets like something from a travel postcard for people who can afford better vacations. Tourists meandered along the harbour, snapping photos of fishing boats bobbing gently in the water. Seagulls circled overhead, already plotting their next food heist. Emma grinned and adjusted her travel bag. "Let's explore." I followed reluctantly, keeping a murderous eye on the seagulls. Chapter 2. Fish Markets and Feline Dreams. Our first stop was Stavanger's famous fish market. If Valhalla had a seafood section, this was it. Freshly caught fish gleamed like treasures laid out on ice. Cod, herring, salmon, all right there, practically begging to be liberated. Emma admired the display, already imagining some gourmet dinner she definitely couldn't cook. Meanwhile, I was busy imagining something better. "How about we skip the buying part and take what we need?" I suggested, zeroing in on a particularly plump salmon. Emma crouched next to me. "No stealing, Fluffy," I sighed dramatically. "You're no fun." A friendly fishmonger noticed Emma admiring the seafood and waved her over. "Want a taste?" he asked in accented English, holding out a sample of smoked salmon. Before Emma could react, I struck. Years of necessary survival honed my flawless execution. The salmon was mine. The fishmonger laughed. "Your cat has good taste." Emma rolled her eyes. "He's enthusiastic." "I'm starving," I corrected, licking the last bit of salmon from my whiskers. Humans appreciate boldness when they benefit from it. Hypocrites. Chapter 3. Old Stavanger. Cobblestones and History. Our next stop was Gamle Stavanger, the city's oldest district. Quaint wooden houses painted in soft pastels lined cobblestone streets that twisted up the hills like something from a dark fairy tale. Flower boxes overflowed with colourful blooms, and wrought iron lanterns hung from crooked street corners. Emma admired the architecture with sparkling eyes. "It's like stepping back in time," I yawned. "Charming, if you enjoy primitive living." Tourists with expensive cameras roamed the narrow streets, snapping pictures of anything vaguely old. I spotted an elderly woman knitting on her front porch, probably crafting overpriced sweaters for these fools. Clever. While Emma took more photos than anyone could possibly need, I found a cozy sun-drenched spot on a low garden wall and stretched out. The warmth felt glorious. Just as I drifted into a well-deserved nap, a group of tourists spotted me. "Oh, look at the cute cat!" They snapped photos like paparazzi at a scandalous premiere. One even dared to reach out and touch me. "Back off, peasants." I hissed, tail flicking with nuclear-grade irritation. Emma returned just in time to rescue me from the touchy mob. "He's not social," she explained, scooping me up like some prize. "I tolerate you and only you," I reminded her firmly. Chapter 4. Harbour Break. Beer and Judgment. Feeling victorious after escaping the tourist mob, Emma decided we needed a break. She spotted a cosy pub by the harbour with outdoor seating. I approved. At least it was away from the cameras. We settled into a corner table near the dock, the sunset casting molten gold across the water. Emma ordered a beer, something local and obscenely overpriced, while I claimed the empty seat across from her like a proper gentleman. That's when I noticed the stares. Locals gawked, like they'd never seen a cat at a pub before. One old fisherman at the next table whispered loudly, "Is that a cat drinking beer?" Emma grinned and raised her glass. "He's civilized." I casually groomed my paw, ignoring the gawkers. Their small minds couldn't comprehend true sophistication. Chapter 5. The Cost of Comfort. Feeling inspired, Emma decided we needed proper supplies and dragged me to the nearest supermarket, a grave error. Norwegian prices hit like a sledgehammer. Cheese, bread, even bottled water cost more than the rolling den itself. Emma winced but grabbed the essentials. Then we reached the pet food aisle. The prices there were criminal. A single can of premium cat food cost more than a steak dinner. Emma stared, wide-eyed. "This much? For cat food?" I examined the price tag and snorted. Forget oil exports. This is how they fund their economy. Despite the robbery, Emma sighed and grabbed a few cans. "Only the best for you," she said fondly. Obviously. I inspected the labels, ensuring she didn't cheap out. Chapter 6. A sunset worth everything. As evening fell, we returned to a quiet spot near the water's edge. The sunset painted the sky in molten gold, fiery orange and deep crimson. The still water mirrored the colors perfectly, creating a scene so stunning it felt almost unreal. Emma whispered, "No painting, no poem could ever do this justice." For once, I agreed silently. The salty breeze brushed through my fur, cool and soothing. I watched the sky change, my usual sarcastic thoughts momentarily still. The stars sparkled in the darkening sky like forgotten wishes. Emma stretched out on the grass with a contented sigh. "It makes everything worth it," she murmured. I flicked my tail thoughtfully but didn't argue. The peace of Norway settled over us, deep and endless. For now, all was quiet.